All right, welcome back to another episode of Discovering Foundational Truths. My name is John Lemus.
Director Mula.
Hussein Ambrawa.
Basically, the reason why we get together is just so you understand if you're struggling in an area of life, you pretty much do not know the truth about that area that comes from God. So once you know the truth, the struggles are over. My first question to you guys is going to be, what's one thing you cannot live without? Think about it. What's the one thing? If you just had that one thing, you just can't live without it.
I don't think so. I don't got none of that.
You ain't got nothing like that?
Nah, shit. I can live without
You
anything.
can live without anything. Obviously, oxygen would be a good guess.
I mean,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
You
We
can't live
talking
without
about
that.
it.
Yeah,
You don't
you
got
talking
control of
material
that.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. Something you don't have control of.
So something you do have control
Do
over,
have
you're
control
saying
of.
it doesn't matter what it is, you can live without it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I feel
That's
like the
cool.
basic needs you actually need, like the food, oxygen,
Yeah.
water.
Yeah,
that you
that's-
need,
You can't live
but
without that, but like he's saying, what's one thing that you have that you think you cannot live without?
Yeah.
Is there anything? Because if there is, it actually controls you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
good.
I don't have anything that I can't live without. It'd be hard to let go.
Yeah. That's the only
Yeah.
Well, what we let it go, though.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to let go, but I can do
I'm
it.
trying to think if I can anything I can live without. There's a lot of things I like to
The
let go of.
Mountain Dew. So I'm just
I
like,
can let go of it. You're
I
right.
just
I could let go of it.
yeah,
but
you can. You did it a couple weeks.
I do it. I've done it for years, but
Yeah.
All right.
it doesn't matter. Okay.
And he
We'll
comes
move on.
back and
Maybe
said,
that's a
"Come
good
back to
thing.
me,
Yeah,
baby."
come here, baby. All right. Who are your role models, or do you have a role model? If you think about it,
I used to think like, people could be your role model. But
yeah, you
it
change.
has to be God, man.
Yeah,
It has to be Allah because,
Sure.
or like the
because
the
he never
prophet,
never changes.
Yeah, but
Sure.
it's God and the prophet. The prophet, is
Prophet's not supposed to be a role model.
no, but he's showing you how to live. But even him is like, your
still
role
human,
model
yeah.
is God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a spiritual way of saying it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. My role model right now would probably because I have been doing a lot with the information. There's a guy named Bishop Wayne Malcolm. Obviously, he has the Bible in with business, and probably Dr. Myron Golden. Those two. I mean, it's like I can't fault anything they say, do, or whatever. But they're in line with their spirit, just like you said,
Yeah.
with God. So it's kind of hard to argue with truths.
Okay.
You got any role models there?
My role model is 50 Cent.
50?
Yeah,
Okay. He's
I like
actually
how
come
he
around
moves.
a lot, yeah, compared to
That boy
Play
is
smart.
He's there's a verse in the Quran that says that he's the most merciful and most in all all seeing, all wise, but his punishment will be severe. I feel like 50 like embarks that. He can be kind, he can be loving, he can be forgiveful, but when he wants to like show you like don't play with me, he shows you don't play with me.
Yeah. That's like that. That's similar to that.
Okay.
Like that's what I see in like
Yeah.
50 Cent.
Yeah.
I can get like that.
So is that why you like him as a role model? Like
Yeah. Not just exactly that, but I mean similarities of that for sure.
Okay.
And I like his business side too. You know, his business side. He don't care. He don't let nobody mess up his money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Simple question. What stresses you out? I'll start with this one. The wife does.
I mean,
But
lately,
you don't have to let it. That's the problem. I keep telling myself, why you let it stress you out?
because you love her.
I know, but that doesn't.
That's the only thing.
There's.
I would say lately it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could say common sense of people, like everybody. Sometimes it'd be like, damn, how don't you get that?
Yeah, but it's just ain't common no more. I know
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
that's one of mine.
My thing is the wife stresses me out because like you said, well, it's really you said, you don't see it in other people what you see yourself. Yeah. I mean, and you can't expect other people to be you, but you think you would learn a little bit here and
Yeah,
there,
that's what I say.
and show
Don't expect you from other people.
right,
That's,
and just
that's
show
what it is,
that
yeah.
you're growing and
Yeah.
understanding. And man, I haven't done this one in a while. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? What am I, 55, 65? Well, that's old as heck. I think I will retire. I think I'll still be mentoring, I'm pretty sure. Still be doing some type of educational thing, but not working directly, as a phys ed teacher. So you got any mind wrapped around?
I mean, mine
10
is
years?
it's the same.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, still I'm still trying. Well, not trying. In 10 years, I see myself in creating, multi-million-dollar movies, telling the story of my people and the way it should be told, and also being able to uplift in terms of revenue, provide new jobs or like training opportunities for people from my community or people from that region.
Yeah.
That's where I see myself in 10 years. What are the steps that I'm taking? I need to figure that out because I need to be able to create a system that works, and a system can actually once you have a system, it's something that can continue working. But like the difference between like a goal, it's not a goal, but I want to create that system so even if I'm not there, it can be replicated and other people can do it.
10 years, my brother.
10 years from now, I ain't even looked that far.
No.
But I mean, my goals are usually money goals, because I live to enjoy my life with money. All the other stuff, I don't really care about.
All right. Okay, what does happiness look like to you? Do you see a lot of it around you right now?
Happiness?
Happiness.
For sure.
You see a lot of people happy around you?
For sure. My end, yeah.
Okay. That's
I mean,
good.
as long as my household is smiling, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see a lot of happiness around you, or you see?
I don't really, to be honest with you,
don't look.
Mostly like maybe if I'm around like soccer or anything like that, but most of the time, like if I'm not working, those people at work, they're working. Mostly I'm by myself. But if other than like in sports, around it, or like in events, I don't really be around people, and
Involve
around
yourself
those
in
events, those people are happy. So yeah, I mean, I'm usually like by myself or with the family. So
Involve yourself in things. That's all.
yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't see a whole lot.
You don't see no happiness?
I see some happiness.
Yeah.
I just don't see a whole lot of people like on a good path, working towards something, moving towards, what they're trying to get accomplished. A lot of people are called stuck in time.
Yeah, so it depends what makes you happy, though.
Yeah.
So you be around those
giving and growing. That's all. I mean, those are the two things that make you happy.
Yeah.
So if you ain't giving or you ain't growing, you're not going to be happy. So, all right. What does home mean to you? Well, it's a tough one for you right now because you're in between.
Yeah.
We acted up.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
he's in between. That's all. That's just the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's facts.
So it might mean something different to him right now that does,
I mean,
when
home
stuff starts coming together again.
home to me is being able to have time, like being able to like buy back time, not always out there. You can have a house, but it can't be a home. And for years, yes, I had a house, but I had like 3 jobs, right? And then the kids are always home, They're not at school, they're always home with the mom, and the mom is always home. But now I'm trying to balance that to actually have a home where when I come home, I'm not indulging in like any other like work. It's just like strictly home
Being
and
home,
focusing
being
on
engaged.
my kids, the wife, and whatever's happening around.
I like that.
Yeah, that's home for me. But like I had to learn. It took me 8 years and 9 years to learn that. And it had to be something that where the wife had to like explode because you couldn't take it, for that long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
What does home mean to you?
To me. I mean, when I'm home, I usually just sleep and eat. I ain't here too, but I'll keep it real.
Sleep and eat.
Yeah.
That's home.
I come sleep and I
Feeling
eat.
safe.
Then, I mean, now, like he said, he's doing stuff with the family as well. Like last week, what we did, we went to Dave and Buster's, you know, they was rip off, but you know, we doing what we gotta do.
Oh man. Money's a tool, brother.
I was chilling. I'm just saying
to
the
make
money that I
memories.
spent wasn't worth it.
I know. I understand.
Yeah,
What about you, Liam?
What does home mean to me?
Yeah.
Man, my home's been the same for a while.
Yeah,
I'm married, 31 years?
it's a bluff.
that's a blessing.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot of
Blessing
forgiveness.
and a curse. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
forgiveness and a lot of growth. I tell you
Oh,
that.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's a lot of edges being smoothed over.
Yep.
Yeah, I still really feel at home when I go see my dad now,
Okay.
which is nice too. You know, because he's still around. Nowhere near the same responsibilities there. You know, I go there just to relax and chill.
Yeah.
Tell it.
My home right now is almost like you're saying. You come home and it's more work than it is. I'd rather be at work. Less work at work than it is at my house. So I built that, you know, so I got to deal with it, you know, but I think eventually it's going to lead to something, but
Yeah.
right now it's work. So home is work right now.
Right.
All right.
That's the one thing though. Like, I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off.
no, you
It's
good.
a thing that something that like I would come home and then I'd have like a studio session because I have a studio set in like in my house.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that the wife was like, I don't like that, right?
Yeah, that's
so it's
good.
like yes, it brings okay money, but you're taking the fundamental of that. So like you just came from work and you're bringing more work at home,
Yeah.
and that can't be. So she's like, you gotta find a way to move this out here so it doesn't follow you, or this is not gonna.
Yeah, she makes
not
sense,
gonna work.
100%.
Well, when
So
you-
what I'm saying is, you gotta move that work out of there.
Yeah.
We
That's-
build
that's what
another
I'm
building
saying.
or something. You're right.
Yeah, he learned from it. So, you know, he want to teach another man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's the case,
Yeah, no
but
question.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
There's
you
a
know,
difference between what you deal with and what I deal with, though, because you're dealing with other people coming into your home.
yeah,
We're dealing with our own dogs. Man, like, I'm just saying it's not an
He said
intrusion
our
to
own
our
dog.
privacy,
Yeah.
but it is still more work. You know that you.
it's still bringing work though.
Yeah.
It's not bringing. It's there.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go, bringing
to the
it's
house,
there.
yeah.
It's definitely there.
yeah.
So you saying move out, huh?
That's not what I'm saying.
An RV. I can live in the RV. Right out
No,
of my-
I'm just.
No, I know what you're saying.
chopping
Yeah,
blocks, that's it.
You definitely need to try and separate because
Yeah.
you need a place, you know, where you can rest and not worry
Absolutely.
about stuff. Yeah. All right, this one's to you then, Wavy. What's your best advice on how to deal with failure?
Failure? Try again.
Try
Yeah,
again.
it depends. Yeah, you definitely got to try again. It depends on the circumstance as well. You know, you can't try something that you know is going to fail consistently. But
So you're saying there's things out there you just can't do?
no, from a point of view is there's things out there it's not worth doing. You know,
Okay,
so
the
it's like
return is different.
make
Okay.
sure there is a greater return with it. You just don't do it.
He's all about what he gonna get.
Yeah,
That's good.
for sure.
That's a good way of looking at it.
But I think it's not about. It's depending on your mindset and your level, right? There's some things that it might not be for you, but it might be to somebody else. You just
For
have
sure,
to know.
I agree.
Yeah, you just have to know what you're looking for.
Oh,
know
yeah.
what you're looking for, and then what you're trying to
For sure.
learn.
On my end, that's why I spend time with it. If I like it, if I don't, I move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all.
When I look at fail, I look at it as first attempt in
In
learning.
learning, yeah.
So if you look at it that way, and anything worth having, you're not going to get it on the first attempt.
Oh, for sure.
So I mean, you want to, like you said, keep going. Sometimes even if it's not worth it in the end, you'll get stronger doing it. You know what I mean? The next time it comes around, it'll be a lot
For
easier
sure.
to
Like
handle.
there was a time there was somebody saying, what is it called? Once you start something, don't quit it in the
Yeah,
middle.
right.
Of it.
That's
Just
another
finish
good
it.
thought
Even if you
process.
don't
Yeah.
want to do it, finish it. Then
Yeah, then
next
move
time,
on.
just don't do it.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, there's got to be wisdom in what you actually attempt to do. You know, it's got to be worth doing to start with. You know, so
Right.
you got to look ahead of that. Okay. Okay. So, do you lead with your head or your heart more? What's the difference? Anybody know what the difference?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Leading with your head is just, going out like, what's it called? Action. So leading with, what was it? Your heart.
Leading with your head or your heart?
Your heart is like, thinking of what you're going to do and how is it going to affect the others.
Okay. So, do you lead with your head or your heart more?
I say it depends on the situation.
Well, that's an easy answer, huh?
Being honest,
I'll say it. Okay, what do you lead with? Your head or your heart?
I leave with my heart
I
because
think I do too.
yeah, it's just like if you know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if your intuition tells you yes or no.
It's just that's what it is, and A head can change because it's different thoughts like going into your mind. Oh, maybe don't do it, don't do. It's a thought, but a heart is like it's for sure. Whatever it takes, that's what you're gonna do. I do that. Like if I make a decision and I believe in it, and that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you don't quit.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think I lead with my heart more also, because like I said, if it doesn't really benefit more than just myself,
Yeah.
I mean, I could care less about benefiting myself. I got enough benefits as it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes, talking about like refereeing, doing different stuff just for money. I mean, the money's decent, but it's like I'm not really benefit if I can't change the ideas of what the game was, or they feel more, like it was more fair, that kind of stuff. It's like, nah, that's good enough. I'm good.
I mean, it's also
Same thing with
thinking about
coaching,
How many people are you like going to affect for that day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you lead with your heart, you're not thinking about yourself as much.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could be any animal, what would it be and why? What animal you want to be?
Sheesh. What did I answer last time?
I can't remember. I think if I had to be an animal, I'd have to pick the lion, just because of the attitude.
But I feel like majority of guys will say a lion.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't know. What you think?
Say a whale. A whale.
A whale. Why would you pick a whale?
Ain't nobody messing with you. You're the biggest.
Mad
in the
whales
water.
get tore up.
And what?
I'm trying to think who eats whales.
Yeah,
big
when they,
sharks.
There's
Well,
big whales,
big
that
mako
are like
sharks or whatever.
Big as
yeah, you ain't messing with no
Yeah,
shark.
but you know what a
Well,
whale? You know what they do with whale blubber? They make soap.
blubber.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's
it-
when you die. When
Yeah,
it
that's
dies.
when it was.
Well, I'm saying they
yeah.
go hunting for them.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, they go hunting for lions too.
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
So yeah,
Not around my house. I know what
sure.
you're saying.
Huh.
I don't know.
I would say well.
I'm trying to.
I just like, because, I mean, I was just trying to think about a whale. Like, why would you want to be a whale? It's like, what do they do? I know they're
like-
big.
yeah,
don't get
they
messed with
actually.
a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I don't like to be messed with. I'm a
Okay.
peaceful person.
Okay.
Actually, whales like most of the coral reefs are like from whales because like they recycle, like they can live up to hundreds of years,
Yeah,
and
they
then when
definitely
they
get
die,
old, yeah.
when they die, their body sinks, and then
yeah.
the bio thing starts all over
Yeah,
again. And
true.
it's all like it regenerates a lot of what do you call it, reefs.
Okay.
That is true.
And I think somebody was saying he filters the ocean or something like that, but I'm not so sure. I'm not a
You
scientist.
want to be a shrimp or something?
Yeah, I'm not a scientist.
At the bottom, you'll be a
I'm
bottom
not
feeder.
a scientist. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to think. I mean, if anything, I say a lion,
Yeah.
but I would say I used to be a lion, but like,
Say-
So what are you
because
now?
I'm trying to.
I know.
I'm trying to
that's
figure
a
that
weird
out.
question. I know.
I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, I'm more of. If you can describe me like I'm
Wow,
determined,
Yeah. I'm almost
understanding.
wise as a snake and soft as a dove. Like, I'm not even a lion anymore. I don't care. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not-
You can't get me to go. You know.
I'm not a lion, but I still have that determination,
Yeah, the
understanding,
attitude, yeah.
soft, and then also loving. So what animal is that? Like I'm
Koala
thinking
bear?
about-
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, one of them. Probably maybe one of them orangutans or something. Some big silverback
Yeah.
gorillas. They can fight,
And
but
they
they're
also-
usually really soft. They don't
Yeah.
have to be mean. You know.
Yeah.
All right. How do you best connect with other people? How do you best connect with other people?
My story.
Through stories?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just treat them how I want to be treated, realistically.
So respect them. Mm-hmm. Give what you want back. How do I best connect with other people? Man, I just naturally do that. There's got to be a way, though.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably not coming off as being, real ignorant or rude or anything like that. Just trying to,
I mean, just being yourself, right?
yeah, be what you are. And then people just want to connect. That's weird. All right. Well, I said this one before. Do you believe in giving people second chances? You said no. I remember that.
Yeah.
You still say no?
I mean, it depends on
It may
the
change. It depends on
Yeah.
the situation.
situation. If the situation is too
extreme.
big, extreme, it's that's not a thing.
You ain't getting a second
But
chance to
and
take
then
that first hit.
this kind of contradicts what last time we talked about, though, because you talked about if somebody killed a whole lot of people, do you feel like they should be executed?
It
See
should
what I'm saying? So that's like giving them another chance.
No, that's not a giving them another chance.
Not they're locked up their whole life.
I mean, he said giving another chance of living.
Living. That's what I'm
Because
saying.
he can be killed.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but execution, that's like taking, God's, that's like taking God's hand and be like, okay, I'm going to run that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even like the digestive system is just like that as well, but you need something, but I ain't going to be a part of that.
Yeah. You ain't pulling you ain't pulling the,
Nah.
ain't pushing the button.
Yeah, not me. They get their consequences when they die.
Here's a new one. What's the biggest lie you ever told?
The biggest lie ever told.
What is the biggest lie you ever told?
The lie you told to yourself, realistically.
Ooh, I got a good one now.
I gotta think about because I told me
I asked the kids this. Oh my God, the one kid raised his hand 10 times.
Yeah.
I said, bro, calm down. I'm like, obviously, you told somebody lies. You don't even believe yourself anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess the biggest lie I ever told, I think it is to myself, and it's about like some limiting beliefs. Like I'm not enough, or, I'll never amount to this or that, or, when I was younger. That's what I told myself.
Yeah.
Different now, though, all those limiting beliefs.
I mean, I think all the biggest lies just the lie that you tell yourself, right? I mean,
Yeah, because
Is
the
it-
lie is limited idea explained. So you're just not telling the whole truth. That's all. Once you know the truth, and the lie just kind of goes away. So y'all ain't been lying lately? That's a good thing.
I mean, it's the same
I mean, we
thing.
lie, but it ain't the biggest lie.
Who's we?
That'd be all
I
of
ain't
us.
lying anymore.
Come on, stop
What am I
that.
lying
I
about?
don't be lying anymore.
Look,
I mean,
I'm serious,
I'm gonna
bro.
keep it-
It
sometimes-
makes you so free. It's ridiculous.
I
you have no
I
idea.
definitely understand that.
So what do you do that you have to lie about?
We're not saying like we're just lying naturally. Sometimes you lie without even knowing you're lying.
right, but I'm saying
that's
when
what
you
I'm
catch
saying.
yourself, you got to say it.
Yeah,
Stop
true. That's what I'm just saying.
So then just change it.
when we
and then
say
tell
we
them the
don't
truth.
lie, we're not speaking the truth. Now we're lying again. That's all I'm saying. We're putting a lie over a
I know.
lie.
I'm trying to think about when the last time I lied. It's been a long time. Even to my wife, even to everybody. I mean, like I said, I don't do anything anymore that I have to lie about that I know of.
Me honestly, the last time I told a lie was last year.
Last year.
Yeah,
Well, that's
and
good.
it wasn't like something big. It's just like somebody asked a question. I made it seem bigger than you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was. It just
The biggest thing is though, when you just lie just a little bit here and there, a little bit there, then you tell yourself stuff and you don't believe yourself because you've told so many lies. It's like, I know I ain't gonna keep my word. You know?
and every time I'm like, oh nope, never. Let me go back. Let me correct
Yeah,
myself. It's
yeah.
just straight.
Yeah, I haven't corrected myself in a while either because, like I said, sometimes I'll catch it at thought level. You know, well, I ain't even gonna tell this client anything because he don't need to know. You know,
Yeah.
or I just tell you the truth and then let you deal with what it is. You know, because some people ask the stupidest questions. You know,
Yeah, true.
I'm
bro.
like, well, if you really want to know, here it is. You know,
Yeah,
then you
sometimes
deal with it.
hurts though. You do hurt people, but you have to because a lot of people are conditioned to accept lies more than the truth.
oh, they want you to lie to
Yeah.
them.
So,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that it hurts. Like you're gonna have to.
But it's got to stop somewhere. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? All right. How do you think other people actually see you?
I mean, that being. Didn't we answer this last
I
time?
don't know. Did we?
No, last time we did, but we went like. What we did is like
we
okay,
actually told each
actually
other.
told each other. I mean, actually,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
even better. Yeah, that's what we did. But I feel like that brings
So
more
how do you
conversation.
think other people see you? Well, I'm telling you, this one teacher brought this one kid up to me, and she goes, this one kid wanted to get closer to God. The one teacher said, well, you should talk to Liebman. I said, whoa. I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't talk about religion or nothing up in here. You trying to get me in trouble? That was funny. I'm like,
You
huh.
can never get in trouble, man.
Nah, I don't.
So they think you're a religious person.
I guess they think I'm religious. But
Yeah.
honestly, the funny part about it is I'm not religious at all.
So just
Because they don't understand the difference between spirituality and religion. You know what I mean? Religion is control, trying to get back with. I'm already there,
tell it.
So I ain't worried about getting back with.
Yeah. What do you think about what other people think about you? I mean, I guess
Yeah,
people
he
think
just
you're
answered
religious.
that.
Yeah, they think I'm religious. They,
But I'm
you know,
talking about
'cause
other things. If
they
you
don't-
could name 2 or 3 things.
Okay, I like that. I like.
yeah, they probably think I got got some decent money because I'm not cheap ever anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm saying because money has no value unless it's moving.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's how it gains value. I guess I like to listen to, like I said, I'll listen to your BS, you know what I mean? And I'll try and just tell you, right to your face, if it's right or wrong, So I guess being distinct or whatever, with information or with, counsel or whatever, if you want to know the truth, come see me, That's probably the three I was thinking of.
I mean, for me, I would say determined, hardworking, and wise.
Your wise is kicking in, bro. Like yesterday, I could see you just couldn't get into the soccer. It's like you're gonna start seeing things kind of fade away a little bit that don't mean as much as it used to. Because when it's hooked to your ego, then that game means a lot.
Soccer was
once you get rid of your ego a little bit, then stuff starts losing its importance. So,
what about you? What do you think?
What do people think of me? I say driven to do things. Then I could say, most people think I know, I can fix their problems for them. There's some people that think that. I used to do a lot of that, but I do that no more. And
that's a new type problem.
And then my other thing is they say customer service. They think I can fix their things. Just say if something broke and stuff like that.
Some skills.
Skills, stuff like that.
All right. So do you believe the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? Do you believe that?
It's more expensive it's more expensive when you're poor than you're rich. Because you spend more when you're poor.
Spend more how? You gotta explain.
When I mean spend more, it's like everything is more jacked up to you. Like just say from a point of view, say if you go to the corner store, it's a bottle of water. You'll pay for $1. The regular middle class person would just say, I'll go to the store and buy it for $4 a case and get 40 of them.
Dang, I resemble that comment.
Yeah.
I get 40 Sam's Club every time.
Yeah, so
I ain't paying no $1 for water, but go ahead. Keep
going. You just say you never did?
No, I have.
Okay,
I'm just saying $6 for a bottle of water.
For sure.
That's the thing. I don't
care.
So
I'm just saying that's just an example of it. Then there's so many other examples to put in it. But
yeah, money's one thing, but I'm telling you, go ahead.
I just think it's not understanding how wealth works, right? That's literally the thing. It's basically what you're saying. It's even though that person might have $1 only and doesn't have the $4 to go buy a 24, what do you call it, bottle case, right? It's still not understanding. Like I want to have it today,
right now,
exactly right now, instead of
say that $3 and then you're going to have it for a whole month.
It's not like rich people get rich and the poor stay poor. It's just the poor just don't understand money. They just don't understand.
They want things instantly,
and they're consumers instead of producers, and they don't really produce.
And investors, they're not investors as well. So that hurts you a lot.
Yeah. I think once anybody the world, anybody can everything that you need is here. Everybody can you can have everything that you need. It's just that lack of understanding. And my question is how do we? And I guess some people just don't want to. That's what I think.
It's easier for them.
They just don't.
It's comfortable.
Want to. I just think they just don't.
What do you think corner stores are there for?
And they're only in the hood.
Yeah, you ain't see no corner store.
You're not gonna see a corner store in a Fox Chapel.
Come on,
literally.
Ain't nobody gonna go there.
Yeah.
They like their little coffee shops and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's crazy too because they just had that a little corner store on right by the
Dave Barbershop.
Yeah. And it wasn't there. And you think about it, they jack up the price, and people they can't afford the 24 water for $6 or whatever, so they go over there and just buy one thing.
They can afford it, but they just don't want to drive to go get it. That's the concept. Laziness is what makes that happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that alone because you guys. That was a pretty good one.
Okay, because we're poor.
we live that.
Okay. We understand. There's a lot of deeper stuff there than what you guys are even talking about. Yeah. It's in there. Okay, what does unconditional love mean to you? Unconditional. What does that mean?
Love with no judging.
No judgment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say people just say that until you're the one that your conditions have been tested.
Okay.
True. I mean,
But it's definitely right. Like love without judging and being understanding. But
Accepting,
yet,
yeah.
accepting,
yeah,
but yet,
accepting most likely. For
but
sure.
yet, like, and I stress is very important. Have boundaries. That's very important.
There is no love without boundaries.
Huh?
That's you're taking
you
advantage
have
of
to have
somebody, yeah.
boundaries. You can't just be like, I'm just gonna accept everything. Then you're a doormat.
Yeah, it's not. I'm trying to think. It's not accepting of something that you don't tolerate. You know,
Yeah.
it's like something that's bad. You don't want to accept that. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like even God loves unconditionally, but yet
He has boundaries. Yeah, he does. He put gravity in there. He put a couple things in there that don't. All right. What is your definition of service, and how do you contribute to the world? This is one of the sayings that I heard and I really believe. Service is the rent for a good life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can agree
So
with that.
if you don't give service, then you can't expect life to kind of help you out.
Yeah.
I think the thing too is like I did a paper about the McDonald's worker and the news anchor, right? How many people can you reach at once? That's the thing that I'm trying to think about. Okay, yes, I'm a filmmaker, but how can my service reach more people at once than 2 or 3 or maybe a couple of hundreds? How can I reach millions of people? That's the thing that I'm trying to like figure out and trying to work that into a system and really work that out. And there is a difference. Yes, you can teach like 6 or 7 students, but are you able to teach thousands of students at once? Are you able to service thousands of people at once? That's the difference. And
That comes from leverage. You know what I mean? Like
But
there's the internet or
But you know how to, I'm saying how to do that. The idea is to be able to serve God, like as many as God's people, as at once you can as possible, and being able to leverage all the tools that you have available to you.
So who's God's people?
Everybody.
We are God's people.
Everybody's not God's people.
What do you mean?
I mean, the people that
some
didn't
people
choose, the people that didn't choose him.
Everybody's God's people, but once they chose, they make a decision once they're living and all that other stuff.
Okay.
From the beginning,
Some people's devil's people.
not from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because
Because it's a choice that they made. Everybody was God's people until they chose, they chose the devil.
All right. Okay, who is the person that you need to
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just saying, even though still God has hope that one day they
That
might
they
come
might
back.
they might come back.
So it's still not. That's
That's called long suffering. That's what he calls it.
Sorry about that.
Okay, that's right. Who is the person that you need to forgive the most?
yourself?
Besides yourself, that's an easy answer.
forgive.
Yeah, I'm talking about outside of yourself. Yeah, because I know yourself for sure.
I think I got nobody.
You got nobody, huh?
I mean,
Nobody ever did anything wrong.
they
with you
did something
ever?
wrong to me. I mean, they already felt the pressure. If I,
This bro's all about. He got the revenge already. He got the books all straight.
I forgave a lot of people. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
So who is the person you need to forgive the most?
I already forgave him though. I forgave him.
I just asked who it was.
Who?
I didn't
Yeah,
say
who was it?
Did you do it?
Yeah. I mean, just say Ahmed, one of my friends.
Okay.
I forgave him. He messed up my car,
Okay.
and it cost me $4,000. I had to pay it out of pocket,
Okay.
and I ain't forgive him. But
You just say you just forgave him. What do you mean?
I just heard the $4,000, and I remind myself I still need that.
So Haji, tell him why he has to
Yeah,
forgive.
that's it.
He already knows.
Why do you have to forgive? Not forget.
Forgive.
What is forgiveness for? Forgiveness is for you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's to take the weight off of you that somebody has done something to you. You don't want them to have any more control over you or even your thought or anything. That
even
$4,000 is gone.
Yeah.
Money has no memory.
You already made $4,000 plus more.
Yeah, for
ever
sure,
since.
yeah.
So
But I'm just saying, when you forgive that person, then it no longer bothers you anymore at all.
I just
you know?
thought about it, $4,000, and it just scratched my head. That's so different.
Yeah, we got to keep beating because you're there, but you're you're catching up. So who'd you have to forgive the most? I got a good one. Y'all can't hang with what I got.
I would say my dad.
Okay, so you're close to mine.
Yeah, and it's not it's not so much that what he did is more like what he didn't do. But and then like there's other people in a situation where they didn't even have fathers in their life, so I can't really complain.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just there's things that he didn't do that I'm trying to do with my kids.
Right. I mean, at
So he
least
taught you some things you haven't.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
you wouldn't have
Yeah.
learned any other way.
Absolutely.
I'm the same way because my stepfather, he passed about, I don't know, 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. When he first came on the scene with my mom got divorced when I was really young, so I can't remember. So my dad actually became a state cop, and he kind of moved out of the scene. And I live with my mom, but she got remarried to this guy. He was a drunk. So he's out there drinking, he's coming home throwing stuff. And, I'm like, man, if I was strong when I was little, I probably would have got him, But God kind of showed me, I guess in retrospect, why he came into our lives, because my mom ends up working for what's called Polk State Hospital. So she's working with severely profound mental retarded kids or people, One of these clients kicked her out of the back of the van, so she ended up in a wheelchair for about 15 years.
Your mom?
My mom, her rest, like from when she was about 40 on, she was in a wheelchair, and she died when she was 68, so 28 years.
crazy.
Yeah. But
She died
anyway,
in a wheelchair, like
well, she died, from complications. Like it was called congestive heart failure. Because if your body don't move, your organs start to break down.
Yeah, for sure. That's
But anyways, he stopped drinking, and he became the number one sole caregiver for her whole end of her life. I mean, you're talking about getting her out of bed, putting her in the chair. Like I said, I had no idea what God was doing. Like he can take anything. I don't care if it's an alcoholic parent or whatever, and put it and make it for something for good. So I learned from that. That obviously I don't drink a lot. I learned from my real dad. He was like a womanizer where he'd have 3 different women. I'd call them their own name. But I'm saying, if you look at the situation and you gain insight from it, you didn't lose anything in it. It might have felt bad at the beginning, just like you said, your dad didn't do this, didn't do this, didn't do this. But in not doing that, he showed you what you need to do for yours.
absolutely.
So I'm saying that's the next level. And that's actually one of the things we're going to talk about today, as far as being able to flip the script and see the positive in every situation. So but I forgave him way back when, because he stopped drinking. He was sober for 30 some years. I thought when my mom passed, he was going to right back to alcohol. No, he didn't. But which was good, But he only ended up with like a 3rd grade education. He was from West Virginia, teeth missing. He was. I'm like this dude right here.
Typical.
Yeah, drinker.
So West Virginian.
He definitely had a lot of issues. I mean, that's.
All the West Virginians gonna come in and be like,
That's. Man, where do you think people or souls were before they were born?
It's energy.
Where was your soul?
It was with God, but it was for sure energy.
Okay, so we've always been energy.
Yeah.
Always been with God. Okay, gave you
because we
pieces.
say he blew life
creativity.
into you. So with God, that's as far as I can go.
He did that for Adam, right?
Yeah,
That's what they say.
He
yeah.
didn't do that for everybody, right? He's not up there just.
No, but I'm saying if you go back, so Adam,
Yeah.
came from he blew into Adam, so you're part of Adam because we're all related,
Absolutely.
For
So
sure.
Okay. All right.
I mean, what do you think?
Long distance cousins. That's all.
What do you think? Oh, you believe you in the same boat? Like, what do you think?
No, I still I believe that he did, do what he said he did. He blew into Adam and made him a living soul. We do have a piece of his creativity in each one of us. I mean, there are no mistakes. Even if you're somebody that ended up being, like a product of a rape or something, like I said, he's able to turn any kind of situation into good. So those are some things I believe. But yeah, that's where I think you were before, also.
Yeah.
In energy, and that's where you're going back to. So, all right, what helps you relax the most?
Until you relax.
Football game.
Oh yeah. I mean that makes me jump around.
Video game. Yeah, you do get a little excited.
Yeah, that makes me jump. Just sleep. I once I get to sleeping. Really, I mean, I don't really like nobody waking me up when I'm sleeping. So, but that definitely get me relaxed and chilled.
Yeah, don't go in the army.
And a shower, I
They
can
wake
say.
you up. Yeah,
A
shower
hot
definitely relax
yeah.
you too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it's more like car rides and listening to audiobooks. So whenever I can, last Friday, I drove like 5 hours. I mean, I was going to that was the most relaxing thing that Like I guess we did actually talk on the phone when
Yeah.
you called me, but most relaxing thing ever.
My
I just-
fault.
Yeah. No, you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, no.
I was coming like I was coming to where I needed to be anyways.
Yeah,
Like 5
yeah.
hours just, listening to the Quran and just driving so peaceful. That's what I like to do now. Every time I'm driving, I pop in an audio book and just listen quiet.
So I got a different answer, and this is a deeper one. What helps me relax the most is doing something to mastery. Now, by definition of mastery is like when you're able to do it without thinking about it. So it almost becomes like just a reaction of something, Like when I'm doing dogs in the morning, I do it so much that I don't have to think about what I'm doing. Whether I'm doing that or if I'm reading books or if I'm listening to podcasts or whatever, I've done it so much that I've have it to the point of where I start stacking masteries on top of each other. You know what I mean? And when you're able to go from activity to activity and you're a master at what you're doing, it feels like the time is just, kind of stand still. So that's kind of what makes me relax the most, I guess. Okay, do you believe your thoughts create your reality?
No,
Yeah.
the thought is just a thought. Don't
Okay.
create reality. You make reality.
How can you make a reality without a thought?
How can you make reality without a thought?
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're looking at it from all your thoughts are making reality, but
You can choose which
Yeah.
thoughts, you want to put energy
yeah,
to.
for sure.
But your thoughts actually
Yeah, a thought
create your
does.
reality.
Yeah, I can understand that, but
So that kind of shows you though, like the people that have realities that aren't that great, you understand that their thought patterns,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
something you need to. That's one of the
Lower
the
level.
roots that you have to
Okay.
change. If your thought patterns are, I ain't no good, I'm never gonna amount to anything, and if you're thinking that all the time, that's what you're gonna see in reality.
right.
So you can try to help them 10 different ways, but if you don't change what they're thinking about themselves, that's not going to change.
Right.
So it starts with belief and then it comes to the thought, All right. Do you think the world will ever truly end?
There's an ending for everything. If humans dies, everybody else, not just humans in general, but just even plants
Yes,
or
humans
just
die, plants die,
everything gotta go.
everything got
someday.
to go.
It'll
Okay, how's it going to go?
that's the question I can't answer.
You ain't got that one?
Oh yeah, that's too far for me.
Okay.
Hey, you got that one?
I have an idea.
Okay.
I mean,
Some things I read.
I think to me, I would just say like, yeah, everything on Earth will change and it will go away. But in terms of like Earth, like completely, disappearing, I don't really like. I think we will not be able to like experience that. Like like I don't know, because it's regenerated energy, right?
Energy never
That.
dies.
So like I don't like like.
It just changes
Yeah,
forms.
yeah. I don't like the life form on Earth. Yes, will disappear, but the energy though, it'll just be regenerated somewhere else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or as something else.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, I'm trying to hear you because you said you read something laid out on us.
Well, in the Bible it says, "I will not destroy the world again by flood." So God gave us the rainbow to show that He's not going to do that anymore. Of course, then what happened? I don't want to say that because then we might. No, I don't.
Continue. We're good.
No,
We
I'm just saying,
understand.
like, yeah, the LGBTQ. What's their thing for?
It's a rainbow.
Yeah, so they hijacked the rainbow because that basically is what God has said. He's going to show us a rainbow after a rain to tell you that He's not going to do that. Because when Noah was here and he flooded everything to try and get rid of the sin, He just saved like a couple people, Noah's family, and a bunch of animals, in the ark or whatever. So they actually hijacked that, thinking that they're going to make kind of mockery of God. But the way it says in the Bible is it will end by fire. Whether it could mean nuclear weapons. It could mean a bunch of different things. But before that actually happens, it's called Armageddon. The people that are true believers in, that's actually Jesus, and not really Muhammad and not Allah, but in the Bible, if you believe in Jesus, you'll be taken up. It's called a rapture. Before all the stuff breaks out, it's called hell breaks out on earth. So and then after that, then Jesus will come back and then kind of rule on the earth for 1,000 years, and the devil will be kind of tied down, and then ends up being thrown in a lake of fire. So yeah, because the new heaven is supposed to be here on earth. We've never been to heaven. Heaven is all energy. Heaven is it's a different plane, a different different way of thinking of things, but it's not necessarily physical. We're used to physical, because we're human. So,
Gotcha.
all right. Have you ever seen something you cannot explain? And if so, what was it?
I would say for me, it's like it works for me all the time. Whenever I'm taking these aviation what do you call it, tests, I just take a second to pray to God, and I take the test. You always come back to a 90 or higher.
Okay.
I can't explain that. I get this like chill once I'm done praying. I get this chill like where I shiver a little bit, and I start taking the test. 95 or higher. I can't.
You know what the funny part about that is? Whenever you're relaxed and you're taking a test, any information you've seen, say you read something in a book and you studied it, but you can't recall it because the test is stressing you out.
Yeah.
When you relax, everything in there you can actually, pull back up.
I ain't even
And
know
anything that hasn't been, they call it being enlightened, anything that, you've known before you got here, is in there, but you can't access it if you're all kind of frazzled, because stress actually stops your frontal lobe, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, like the last test that I took, because I signed up for the class late. I was 4 weeks late, and the first day I come, they give me a test. I'm like, I don't even know this stuff, right?
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my usual, and then there was like 90% of it was multiple choice, and then they had to they had like 4 or 5
little essays.
Yeah, not essay, just fill in.
Yeah,
those are the ones I think I missed like 3 out of 5, and I was like, it wasn't bad. But I can't explain that. But I guess you have an explanation, so now I know.
That's just that's how I feel, because your mind, you are so much smarter than you think you are. Because situations and stuff stop you from your brilliance or your genius. So did you ever see something you couldn't explain?
See some, can't explain. Flexible the cats are. It's just they be too tough.
You're right. I don't know how a cat, you could drop him from anywhere. He lands on his feet.
Yeah, they be acting up.
They know where the ground is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It might be how they're
too
built.
flexible. Yeah.
They're definitely flexible.
I don't mess with them.
You don't like cats, huh?
The ones we got, they chill, but the other ones. I think you just got to get to know them, and you slowly get there. But as long as they got paws, I don't mess with them.
Yeah. Claws.
Claws.
They all got paws.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they can't walk.
Yeah.
They got
claws.
stubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got claws, though. Yeah.
I don't like them.
Yeah, we actually clip ours. We have cats, and we just clip them.
Okay.
I hold them. Wife's
They de-nailed them or whatever. Yeah.
Well, we don't de-nail them, but we clip them. Because it's the edges that get you, what I mean? The other parts just, it just hits you like this, but the edges will take your skin, All right. So have I ever seen something I can't explain? I guess the good answer for that one would be when someone truly hates something so bad, or they just disbelieve something so bad, and all of a sudden, they have like an epiphany, and all of a sudden they're just changed. And almost like myself even, I'm nowhere near like I was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. And I can't really explain it, but obviously I have some ideas behind it, but there's people can truly do like a 180, they can go from being a killer to being one of the nicest people you ever met.
I feel like I'm the same thing.
Yeah, you definitely changed, Hodge. I'm just letting you know. All right. So when do you think someone is a grown-up? At what age?
25.
25. Why is that? Because they get cheaper insurance?
Yeah.
You and your money? Go ahead.
No, it's just your
think
mind
25,
is fully,
your mind's actually fully developed
at
okay,
25. And at 18, you really strictly don't, know nothing of life because you just came out of high school and just maybe came
I
out
could
your
give a
mother's
little
house.
push back because I was 16 and my parents moved away.
16?
So I had my own apartment, had my own car, had
16?
a job when I was 16.
Oh, you balling.
No, I'm just saying. It's just, you can grow up at any age.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying the
I think you
legal
need a rite of
age.
passage, though. You need something to happen that's kind of big to make you kind of hit that switch and get to the point where you're an adult. Because if you're always staying at your house and your mom's always there, unconditional love.
I'm not saying you ain't gonna take care of yourself, but I'm saying fully as an adult.
Yeah.
Body and just structure wise,
Yeah, I mean, I'm as tall as I was when I was 14, 13. That's when I hit puberty. That's as tall as I got.
It was funny.
This is the tallest I got too.
My fault. You are next. Go ahead. What you trying to say?
Nah, you good.
What you think? When do you think people were growing up?
I would say, in terms of people are grown up in terms of their choices, boundaries, and how they carry themselves.
Okay.
Because there's people
Can they
that
be
are,
10 and be grown up? Can they be 10?
Yeah,
and
of
be
course,
grown up?
yeah.
I'm just
They could,
asking. Yeah.
that's what I'm
Some
saying,
people
but-
think absolutely not.
but that's what I said: choices, boundaries, and how you carry yourself. Right.
Okay.
That's how
That's
I
how
think
you
you're
define
growing
growing
up.
up. Okay. All right. I'll go with that.
What about you?
I just said, what did I say? I mean, as far as you have to hit like a rite of passage, I think, because some people are 40, 45 still living in the basement of their mom's house, and
Absolutely.
they still ain't grown up. So it's
Yeah.
not an age.
Yeah.
You know, it's more like you said, it's your choices, how you carry yourself, but those are all affected by, your situations. You know? So, all right, what I want to talk about today,
Yes, sir.
any idea, if you guys have any idea how much money the top earners actually make. Now let me get a little tighter as far as the question. The top 10%, and this is just in the United States, it's from some tax thing or whatever.
A year or
Yeah, how much you think the top 10% on average make in a year?
top 10?
Just the top 10. Not the top 0.1%, because obviously that's, in the millions. But
Yeah.
what about top 10%? If you want to say, I'm in the top 10%, how much money do you think that is?
I still think it's in the millions though. Because
think it is?
Yeah, because
I think it would be too, but it's not.
200.
I think
Yep,
it's
167,639. Top 10%
How much?
make $167,639.
Wow, that's cheap as hell.
So I'm saying I'm in the top 10%.
That's
Easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? At least our family is.
I mean,
We put it
without gross, yeah, but
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
gross,
just-
no,
yeah.
that's a big difference.
yeah, exactly.
You're right.
You got to count what's in your hands.
Yeah, but like
All right, so if that's top 10%, what do you think the top 5% earn?
Top
I would say
5%. Now we could say a
50.
million.
50 what?
50,000.
No, you're
No,
going the
you
other
go-
way.
you
So
go.
10% is a bigger group.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Now we're getting into a smaller group of 5%. The top 5%. How much?
Oh,
you
the
think?
top 5. Oh, yeah.
So it'd be
yeah,
the
yeah,
next
okay, I
level
got you.
down.
I thought, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so
Top
if we're
5%.
167,000, it's going to have to
understand
be
that.
higher.
Yeah.
We're going to say 500,000.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
around
top
500.
5% earn $335,891
That's
a year.
I don't know. That's
All right, so
kind
what
of
about
Where you get this
that's
data from?
disappointing.
But what about the top 1%? See, you guys have a skewed value. I thought everything would be higher too.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying that's because people talk. They say, I make, they don't make what they usually talk about.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
These are actual numbers that are reported to the IRS. So honestly, some of the ballers that don't report a lot of stuff, maybe they make more, but I'm just saying. So the top 1% actually make $819,000.
Nah, man.
Now listen,
Nobody hitting a million?
No, but that's what I'm
nobody
saying.
hit the million yet. So if you take 99 people and you got that one person that's making them more money, they're making about $819,324.
That's embarrassing of America.
So the top 0.1% is at $3,312,693 per year.
So how about the people the billionaires? What are they making and what?
But I'm saying they're in that top 0.1%.
Zero.
And they're only making
Anything
3 million.
anything over that
yeah.
is in that top 0.1%. So they
That's
actually skew the number. The billionaires, I think there's like 300 or 200 some billionaires.
Middle class ain't really making. It's only making around 70 to 80,000.
Less than that, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm. But it's still, you can't feed your family with that though in this economy though. So that makes the whole thing
It's
like-
a whole setup.
it's a whole setup. It's
didn't
not
know
even
that?
real.
No, it's not
That's
real.
what I'm saying.
Money ain't
It's
real.
illusion.
What I'm saying, even the so that mean that like even the politics, like the politics
Politicians.
is fake.
Oh, they're hiding money.
Like I'm saying, even this, so they said middle class makings that it's all real. It's all like a video game. This numbers really show the truth.
yeah.
Because
You
this
need
is
to- my bad.
disappointing.
No, you good.
I'm disappointed right now.
I mean, you got real facts.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
I mean, where do you get this data from? Data.
It's coming off of a website from the IRS.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
what I
that's
want to do
disappointing.
today, though, is give you 6 different mindsets. Remember I said your mindset plus your skill set plus your tool set
Yeah.
makes you an asset.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, income follows assets. So think about right now, how many assets do you have?
I still got a question though. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Because
I can't jump over something. Not,
No,
go
I'm
ahead, yeah.
disappointed because
Yeah, we gotta get this out. You gotta get this energy out.
I gotta get it out. I gotta.
So you're close. You're probably in the top 10%.
But
of-
I'm saying
of
you
income
gotta
earners.
look at it like this. If you go into school, I'm gonna just give you 3 majors. Doctor,
Mm-hmm.
you looking at schooling is almost between 150 to 200,000.
That's a semester.
No,
That's
the
a
whole
year.
thing. The
Yeah.
whole, like,
No,
I'm
No,
talking
it's a
about
year.
for
100,000 is a
years.
year.
Yeah, okay.
In doctors, yeah, it's
okay.
100,000 a year. It's about about 50,000 a semester.
Okay. If you do 4 years, then that's 400,000, right?
Yep.
Okay, 400,000.
That's if you don't pay no money. Yeah,
Yeah.
ain't too many
To
doctors.
become a pilot, 4 years is gonna be almost 150.
Mm-hmm.
And then engineer, you looking at around a year is probably gonna be 75 to 100,000.
Well, engineers, they pay as much as I paid to go to
Yeah.
college. I'm saying you
Well,
can
it
go to
depends
college of
on-
engineering, you can go to college of education. You know,
It depends on specialized
depends on where you go.
engineering.
Yeah. If you go to
So-
MIT, you're paying more. Yeah.
If them people are not making, are not even in the top 5%, they're not
Correct.
gonna be able. They're not even gonna be able to take care of that debt.
Correct.
So
That's why they give them 30 years to pay for it.
you won't even be able to because you got
And how about
expenses.
that debt?
You're not gonna be able to pay it in 30 years.
That's called secured debt. Okay, what that means
That's-
is
they have your
you
control.
you cannot declare bankruptcy and get rid of a
For
student
30
loan.
years, yeah.
No, I'm saying you can't get rid of
Student
student loan.
loan.
You know, like
Yeah.
if I have credit card debts, if they're done with giving me 10 credit cards and I max them all out,
Yeah.
and I got debt because of a house, they can take all that stuff back. But in
student,
college student loans, they are secured, meaning you cannot declare them on a bankruptcy.
They're guaranteed
So,
money.
guaranteed money back to the
I am
government.
disappointed.
All right, so you
Yeah.
can be
You
disappointed.
change his level of thinking.
Go ahead. My bad.
Okay, so what I want to do though is get you guys. I mean, we're close. All three of us are probably close to the 10%. With the 167, we can get there,
Yeah.
and you
For
can get
sure.
into the 5%. The 1% is tough because you're almost like a millionaire.
Yeah.
If you're making $1 million a year, can you do that? Absolutely. But like I said, your mindset plus your skill set plus your tool set equals
Equals
an
your
asset.
asset. Yeah.
So if you want to make you as an asset bigger, you have to change one of those 3 categories. Okay. The higher my mindset is, the higher my skill set is, the higher my tool set is,
The higher my asset.
that asset, you're going to be worth that much more. Your value is going to go up. So these are 6 mindset changes that you need to make to try to get to that 1%. If you don't have these mindset skills in your head, you're not going to get to the 1%. Okay, so the first one is you need to stand up to stand out instead of falling in line to fit in to be liked. Okay, if you want to be liked and you want to have a bunch of followers and all that kind of stuff, you're not going to get to that 1% because they're going to make you make decisions on stuff
that you don't.
that aren't really better for you. It's better for the whole group, but it's like that's just not what 1% does. So you need purpose over popularity. Okay, if you want to be popular, you can be popular right now. I mean, a lot of people get on YouTube and they get some kind of viral video and they're popular for a day or when they're viral. But I'm saying that's not. There's so many things going through my head. You didn't really grow any roots. You know what I mean?
No.
Because you got to grow down first to be able to grow up. They want to go up right away and just be popular right away. When you do that, all it takes is one bad comment.
cut
It'll take
them
you
down.
out. Yeah. So some people will never be in the 1% because they can't stand up when someone doesn't like them. Okay, there's a book out. It's called Anti-Fragile, and what that does is explains how you should actually think about different situations, and you can't be fragile and think you're going to get to that next level. Okay, so you got to be tough sometimes.
Anti-fragile.
Yeah, it's called Anti-Fragile. Now, the same wind that feeds a forest fire extinguishes the candle. So what do you think they're trying to say? The same wind that feeds a forest fire extinguishes a candle or blows it out. So what do you think the lesson is there? Because the wind is going to be there either way. So
Yeah.
I'd rather be the forest fire than I'd rather be the candle.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
if
know
you're
what
little,
yeah.
if you're little and you're just flickering, no good. If you're big in a forest fire, then that momentum is going to come from behind and help you out instead
But-
of roll you over.
But
Go ahead.
here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
How about if that wind knocks out the candle and there's some wood around it and you
And it'll start a new fire.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I'm talking about I'd rather be a forest fire and consume. I'm
Yeah,
saying if you
yeah,
do that,
even-
then, like
But
I
I'm
said, the
saying-
wind can't hurt you. It can only help you.
Yeah, it propels
Yeah.
you to where
Yeah,
you
in a
need to go.
forest fire for sure.
Yeah. So the idea is, like I said, you got to think big. You got to move big. And to be the 1%, you can't think like a candle.
Yeah.
You know, I can't think I'm just going to, brighten up this little bit of room. I want to light
Brighten
the
up the
whole
whole
freaking city.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
all right. So you have to have the ability to stand in the face of adversity if you're going to be in that 1%. Okay. Now you have to think, do you have that trait? Do you think you have it?
Adversity of what?
You have that trait of being able to stand in the face of adversity.
I'm
If a
okay
bunch
with-
of people start coming up against you about something you're trying to do, will you still do it?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
If you think, I'm telling you, if you stand in truth and you understand, you're not really out to, hurt people or out to, try and, take the money from them. I mean, if you're
Yeah,
providing a
trying to
good
fuck over
service,
people.
yeah. If you're trying to provide a good service and you know that, you're in the right, then that's all you need, So you're basically supposed to please God and serve people, not please people and serve God. So you got to think about that. So you got to be right with God, please God, and you have to think about serving people. Okay, your value goes up by the amount of people you serve. Okay, that's where the leverage comes in, the computer, the internet, all that stuff. You can serve more people because you can reach more people,
Yeah, the more people you're able to reach at once, the bigger the
bigger the
reward
payout.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I've been preaching about. people
Okay, so
about
number
that.
one is to be able to stand up and stand out instead of falling in line and be liked. So that's number one as far as the ideas of being the 1%. You have to be able to harness your personal power. The 1% recognize the difference between contributing factors and determining factors. Okay, one is inside and one is outside. So determining factors are how you feel inside and what you actually determine, like the message that's going on outside of you. So you can actually change that. Like we were talking about with the death of your mom. I mean, you can look at it as being, well, woe is me, she's no longer around, or it had to happen. And now that she's gone, I'm stronger because she was here for, So the 1% don't try to control circumstances and situations, but they focus on controlling themselves. Okay, I preach this at school. It's like, what do you have control over?
yourself.
Yourself. That's it. So when you try to control the contributing factors, which is outside you try to control that, and you make them determining factors, then you're going to just be in a tailspin. You can't get out of that because you're changing actually factors that shouldn't really mean anything to you. I told you the one story about the boat in the middle of the ocean. That ocean can't do anything to that boat unless that boat lets that water inside. You know what I'm saying? It can stay. I don't care if it's 1,000,000 feet deep. It's the water doesn't get in. If the situations don't get into you, then you can be strong.
Right.
So you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control what you're going to do next, what meaning you're going to assign to that circumstance, and what you're going to focus on. Okay, those are the things you have control over. So it's what are you going to do next, the meaning that you assign to that circumstance, and what you're actually going to focus on. So if you keep your mindset on what you're able to control, the stuff that you're not able to control won't bother you.
All right.
Most people, try to control the outside, don't even think about what's going on the inside. So when you allow the outside to come in, now you're in trouble. Because you can't control it. Okay, so here's an example. I have no control over if someone runs into the back of my car. I can't control them. Okay, they ran into me. I can't control what I'm going to do if someone runs into the back of my car.
Yeah.
Okay, now if I got something in a glove compartment and I do something, I'm saying I controlled that, but obviously that's not what you want.
I mean, that's why I was laughing.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can, people have hit me before, and I just get out and I try to be as calm as possible because that person that hit me usually is already losing their mind. You know what I mean? They're already, so they can't think, and the worst thing I can do is feed that fire, and then now we got two people arguing or fussing and whose fault. Right now, insurances doesn't care whose fault it is as much. It's like, because when you bring lawyers in, now you're paying twice as much for the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's just, insurance basically pays for yours and their insurance pays for theirs usually. So
Yeah, just call it a day.
yeah, so it says I can't control if someone's going to say something negative about me, but I can control what I'm going to do when someone says something negative about me. Okay, if no one's saying anything negative about you, you ain't doing nothing. That's what it is. I mean, there's some people around that say, well, don't say nothing to me. That's because you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you sit at home and do nothing, people got no reason to rip on you. You know what I mean? If you're out there doing stuff and shining your light, you're putting it on them and showing that they're not doing
you ain't gonna hear what people. I mean, I guess.
well, on the computer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you have people, trolling, or you have
Social
people,
media.
just sending,
Yeah.
just negative stuff for no reason, that's bad, but you still have, option of what you're going to do with it. So if you give it attention, it feeds it and it gets bigger. So don't forget about what I said about projection. If it comes from me, it's about me. Okay. If it comes from you, it's about you. So whenever you're sitting there thinking negative about somebody else, really it's you that needs help because you're the negative one. Even if somebody else acting a fool or doing, that's them. Accept it, So you got to flip the script, positive for negative. Okay, there are two types of factors. Every circumstance, your contributing factors are all inside or outside of you. Determining is all inside of you. So you want to be miserable your whole life, focus on controlling factors as if they are determining factors. So if you make one be the opposite of what it is, then that's what most people do. I'd say about 90% of the world does that. They think they're supposed to control everything outside of them, not realizing that they only have control inside of them. Okay, when you focus, what you focus on is going to get bigger. So contributing factors actually come into our lives to give us a chance to use our determining factors to come to a conclusion that's either empowering or disempowering. Basically, meaning you have to have negative stuff to happen to strengthen you.
Right.
And if you look at it as strengthening you and giving you a lesson and understanding that that's something you don't want to focus on, then it's not going to keep happening. Once you learn the lesson, you move on. Some people never learn a lesson and they get caught in a loop and it just keeps happening.
Right.
Okay, so when we start blaming and pointing fingers, then the answer is always outside of you, then you can't control it. Anytime, here's an example here. So the 1% don't make contributing factors determining factors. If you think your life is bad because of the government, you'll never be in the 1%. Because you can't control the government.
Yeah.
You're right
It's
about
like we
that.
talking about even the voting and stuff. I mean, it's like if you think it doesn't matter, it's like, oh, it's okay. I mean, just don't even worry about it then.
Yeah.
If you can't control it, then don't worry about it.
You got the message.
So if you think your life is bad because of, I don't know, white people do this or your skin color like this, like I said, if you point to outside of you why your life is going bad, you're never going to fix it. That's why, some people talk about, what happened 50, 100 years ago. It's like, okay, that's over. Now what you going to do? You got to move on.
They're gonna say it still hurts, Lane.
I'm saying let it hurt, but you take that hurt and get stronger for it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Morgan Freeman said, "Stop talking about it."
I'm saying when you feed something, it gets bigger.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So personal responsibility for every outcome. That's where you want to get to. You're responsible for everything that happens around you. Okay, that's number 2. That's just that was a long one. You want to harness your personal power and recognize the difference between contributing factors and determining factors. So determining is inside of you, contributing is outside of you, and make sure you focus on the right one. So the third one is have particular practice. So you want to focus on mindsets and methodologies that produce mastery. I was talking about this a little while ago. And escape from mediocrity. So mastery is the ability to execute effortlessly without the use of conscious resources. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
So that's what pros do. They don't practice until they get it right one time. Because then you're just in that land of, almost. Then you put almost on top of almost on top of almost. When you start stacking them, and now you got almost, and now you're overwhelmed because nothing's working right. So the idea is to get something to mastery. When you do that, then you master something next, and then you put those together, and then your life kind of gets smooth. This is what the 1% do. So they focus on their mindset and their methodology. So how do they do it? Why do they do it? And when they get that down, then they just do it without even thinking about it. So practice purposefully until you can practice it passively. So make sure it has a purpose. And then once it has a purpose, then, like I said, you don't even have to think about it anymore.
You're right about that.
Yeah, so it's called mastery stacking. So when you master one component at a time and stack them on each other, then you get greatness. So I'll give you an example in basketball, or even we'll do soccer. Like when you're dribbling with the ball and you're looking down at the ball and you master not being able to somebody take the ball off you, and then you get your head up. Now you're doing it without it, and like I said, now you can do it in a crowd of people. If you don't have to think about it, then you have mastered that skill.
Right.
That's one skill, dribbling. Then you got to master shooting. You got to master passing. There's a lot of things you got to master.
You got to master not missing.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that eventually, then like I said, you play like Messi. He does it so effortlessly, or Ronaldo or whatever, no matter, and they just mastered those skills. But you can take that in filmmaking. I could take it in even in mentoring, or you can take it in trying to fix problems or whatever. Once you fix enough problems, a certain problem, you don't even think twice about how to do it. You already got the answer.
It takes me a minute. And
that's what I'm saying. You already know the answer. It's a problem for them until the rest of their lives, because they don't think the same way. They think about the problem instead of thinking about the opportunity. Okay, so overwhelm actually comes when you stack a lack of clarity on top of a lack of clarity. So if you don't master something and you're not clear on what you're doing, then that's when you get overwhelmed. That's when it gets rough, and that's when people quit, that kind of stuff. 1%ers don't quit. So number 4 is having perceiving persistence. The thing that causes 99% of people to quit causes them to quicken. Quicken basically means like they become alive. So if something is really hard, that gets the 1% to start using their brain and start thinking of ways to actually find the answer to it.
Right.
Where most people are just like, well, that's too hard. I'm going to try something else. So I try this, I try this, I try. They move around too much. So to be in the 1%, like I said, you got to have that persistence. We don't allow anything to bend our will. We actually bend everything to our will. So you don't let an outside circumstance change what you're thinking. If you do that, then like I said, you're not going to be in that 1%. So you don't quit. Millionaires, they lose everything sometimes, and they just make it all back. Yeah, because once you get that, you get that mastery, you get that skill level stacking, and then they can just do it again. They don't think about it.
I was watching Fat Joe talk about he was broke 3 times, where he had like $10 million in the bank. Walk in the bank, they told him they don't have a single dollar. So I had to do that 3 times, and it's just having a system and being able to just replicate that system.
Well, yeah.
They say wealth is made when you're sleeping. Basically, meaning it's not about like making money. Wealth is more about having a system working 24 hours a day for you that, you don't stop the inflow of money, or your assets making you that type of money.
Yeah.
Money's made during the day, wages and all that stuff, but wealth is made at night.
Hey, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Because if you're not making money while you sleep, then you're going to be working for the rest of your life.
Yeah. That's now listening to that book, The Atomic Habits, it talks about creating a system. It's like having a goal it's cool, but like now what? After you reach that goal, you're gonna make another goal, and it's gonna take you just keep creating goal. But when you have a system, it's like beyond, right? It's gonna continue just working.
That system work here, it'll work in Africa, it'll work anywhere. Yeah. Okay, so number 4 is that having perceiving persistence, so they don't quit. Number 5 is the top 1% actually know how to flip the script. They know how to turn it over. They're actually positive in the presence of problems, because they understand a problem is nothing more than opportunity. If you look at it on the backside, because have you ever ate a one-sided piece of bread?
One-sided piece of bread.
Did you ever flip a one-sided coin?
Nah.
Okay. Did you ever eat a one-sided pancake?
Nah,
it's always 2 sides.
That's because it can't happen. So if something is negative, if something's a problem, there has to be a positive on the other side. Now, depending upon which way you look at it, if you look at it as a positive, or you look at it as a problem, it's always going to be a problem. But when you look at it, where's the benefit to this problem? Once you find the answer to that problem, now you got 99% of people looking at it as a problem. You can actually be a lifeline to that person, and that's how you can sell your ideas to somebody else, because you already figured it out. But that's why the 1% think different. They don't think, oh, it's a problem. Like I said, when the Chinese people, when they'll come over here, it's like opportunity. They don't have any problems. They know about business. They know about selling things to the consumers. Once you own a business, money only moves one way. It only goes from producer to consumer.
Right.
It never comes from, consumer or to producer to consumer. It always comes the other way, consumer to producer, sorry. Like when you're sitting in a restaurant, everybody sitting there getting served is all paying the person who owns that business. It don't go the opposite way. So once you understand that, you got to be on the one side of the fence. You got to be the producer. You got to be the store owner. You got to be that. Otherwise, you're always going to be, losing, working your heart off to try and, make money to keep your lifestyle up. Okay, so it's true. Every positive has a negative. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Then it's impossible that a situation can only be negative or can only be positive.
Right.
All right. 99% of people are so focused on a problem that they let the problem overwhelm them, and it becomes a determining factor. So it becomes something that they think inside, oh, I can't do it. It can't be done. They turn in something that should have an answer to can't get an answer because, they feel like they can't do it. So the 1% actually look at it and flip the script. They look at the opportunity in the problem. Then the 1% will sell the solution to 99% that are focused only on the problem. That's a lifeline to the person that has the problem. Okay, have you ever, now we'll turn it, let's say, the last one, now we're out. Top 1% produce the pinnacle of profits.
So
You got to think about this. The top 1% are actually paid in the proportion that they have paid to be in that top 1%. So the amount of energy, the amount of sweat equity, the amount of stuff that they did, you get paid in proportion to what you do to get there. So think about it. The other 99% are also paid in the percentage of what they did to get to where they're at. So if all you ever do is work at McDonald's and you never use your brain, never do anything, you're just somebody that serves burgers, you're going to get paid in that percentage.
Yeah. You got to know your well.
Yeah, so the top 1% are paid in a proportion that they have paid to be in that top 1%. So they paid the price.
I can't reduce everything to one. The more people you're able to, reach, that's what your pay
Well,
is.
yeah, it's your pay is actually in proportion to how many people you actually help, how many you serve.
Yep.
Yeah, that's your value. You can make yourself more valuable by serving more people.
That's
the idea. Yeah.
That's why I break it down.
But I'm saying that's all mental
Yeah.
because most people only want to serve themselves.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you can't get outside of yourself, you're not going to be in that top 1%.
Yeah.
So you get what you pay for, and that means all aspects of life, not just at the grocery store. So, if you pay in relationship, you pay in your time or your talents, your skills or whatever, you're going to get paid in that, in that respect. I don't know if you guys remember this. In the Bible, his name's King Solomon. He's actually in the Quran too. Mm-hmm. God said, I'm going to give you a blank check. He said, whatever you want, I'm going to provide. Mm-hmm. Solomon said, okay, if you won't give me anything I don't want the life of my enemies. I don't want money. I don't want women. What I want is wisdom to actually, counsel or to help or be king over, your people, to serve your people correctly. So God gave him, wisdom beyond anybody else, but he also became one of the richest kings ever because with wisdom, money travels with wisdom. Mm-hmm. Okay, everything travels with wisdom. So you can figure anything out if you're wise enough to understand the application of that knowledge in that. So if we don't master something, it will master us.
Yep.
And when it masters us, then we quit.
It controls you now when it masters you.
Yeah. So the last one is that Price's Law. Do you remember what Price's Law was or no? I told you about it before, but it's really important.
I never heard of that one. Let's see.
Price's Law is 50% of any domain is produced by the square root of that domain. Basically, I'll give you an example. If you have 4 tomato plants, okay, 50% of the production of the tomatoes is done by the square root. Now, the square root of 4 is 2. So that makes sense. 2 plants produce half of the tomatoes. Now, as the number gets bigger, say square root of 5 is 5 times 5 or 25. So if say you have 25 tomato plants, okay, out of those 25 tomato plants, 5 of those tomato plants are going to produce 50% of the tomatoes, whereas the other 20 plants are going to produce 50%. Okay, now even to go bigger, say you have 100 people, say at a sales thing or something, they're selling insurance. Okay, the square root of 100 is 10 because 10 times 10 is 100. So 10 of those people will produce 50% of the business for that business, where 90% have to share 50% of the the profits in that business. So what they're basically saying is you can choose. You can be in that 1% or you can be in that left side of that and be a producer and get to what you want, or you can be in that 90% of what's going on over here. So the idea is mediocrity or being medium or being not in the 1%. It actually scales. Was it not incrementally? It's exponentially. Whereas excellence or being at 1% scales incrementally. So it's harder to be in that 1%, but when you're in there, you're going to be that much better than everybody else because you're going to be sharing the profits. So I'll give you an example. In the whole United States, I think there's about 3,200,000 some businesses. So the square root of that's like 5,900 and some. So 5,900 some businesses make 50% of the gross national product. They make all the wages and all that stuff. Whereas, what would that be? 3,800,000 some thousand. Other businesses have to share 50%.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but I mean, it makes sense to me. Even in the school I'm at, we have like say 25 teachers. There's about 5 teachers that do most of the work, but we do at least 50% of what's going on, where the other 20 teachers do the other 50%.
Damn.
But I'm saying they're choosing to be where they're at, and I'm choosing to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
Now there are obviously benefits of being in the top 5, in the school, because you get more authority, you get more, benefits. Whereas that's the 20 that are just being there and just showing up and going home and not doing anything else, just collecting a check, are not going to be in the 1%.
Yeah.
They're not getting there. Okay, because of those mindsets. You know what I mean? You have to have those mindsets. If you think about it, do you have any of these mindsets? Do you have the stand up and stand out instead of falling in line and fitting to be liked? I think all 3 of us have that one.
Yeah.
Are you harnessing your personal power? Do you really know the difference between a contributing factor and a determining factor? So basically meaning like, do you allow things on the outside to bother you on the inside?
Nah.
If you don't, that's good. That's 2 out of 2 there. The third one is you're focused on your mindset, your methodology to produce mastery. Is there things in your life that you could do while you're asleep? I mean, like, I don't have to think about, obviously driving is a good example. You don't have to think about driving because you've driven for 30 years.
Yeah,
I mean, I've driven
for
40 years or whatever.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is there stuff in your business you can do without even thinking?
Sure.
If there is, then you've got that thing to mastery.
Oh, yeah, plenty of.
Okay, then once you start stacking that mastery, once you know you're mastered something, don't just focus on that all the time because you already have it.
Yeah,
Focus on something else that you want to get to mastery, and then, like I said, your whole life is just like automatic. So that one, yes or no, that was kind of tough because there's a lot of things you can master. Yeah, some things I do have mastered for sure. Now, do you have a perceiving persistence? So whatever makes people, quit on stuff, do you quit on stuff easily?
Nah, man. That's one thing.
So I'm saying you guys are all on the way to 1%.
Yeah, I don't quit either. Especially if
I
learn it.
You want,
I want to do
something
it.
you want, it's on. I'm
If
saying
something that I started, I gotta finish it.
Yeah. So if your brain says, I can do it, then I don't care what it is, it's going to get done. And can you flip the script? Can you see positivity in every problem you run into?
For sure.
Can you see opportunity in every? Yeah, I'm saying it's whether you do it or not. I mean, you can do it with your mind, but if you have it in your heart, then you already know that it's what you do. Yeah. And the last one is you're paid in the proportion that you've been paid for, like you've paid the price. And
Yeah, I mean, you
Most
get paid
have
for
paid
how
the
many
price.
people you reach. That's your amount.
yeah. So like I said, the more of those things you have, then your mindset category is there. Now your skill set and your tool set.
Oh, we got to go to work. Not
Yeah.
work physically, but like just our minds.
Most of it's mentally. You're right.
Yeah, we gotta go.
When you start thinking physically, then you're back into the first category of implementation. Now you just put a ceiling on your money. you're gonna make. You can't be the one doing everything. I can't be the one cleaning up. If I want to be the one cleaning up, I can't be the one owning the business. So it all kind of wraps around itself. All right, okay. I had it written down, and I try to think it out too. Excellence compounds incrementally, and mediocrity compounds exponentially. I knew there's a reason why I wrote it down because I was having a hard time thinking about it. So that's it, brother.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. We got it in there.
I'm still
You're still
flabbergasted
hurting about those
that.
numbers, huh?
I thought it
So he
was,
said a lot of people lie to him.
Oh my goodness! A lot of people say they millionaires,
but
but they don't even know what it is.
It's not even it's even beyond the people, right? It's
See, this is something we don't understand now. Let me give you an example, like a business. Just say I had I shouldn't say this on the thing, but $128,000 in profits last year, but it's not profits because you gotta all the stuff that we did.
Cost of operation.
Yeah, the cost of operation will kill it. Yeah, I mean that's something you got to bring your costs down to get your profits up.
You get the
You know
message.
what I'm saying? If you think about $1 million business, you might have a $1 million,
Gross.
cost.
yeah, okay,
Cost to run it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So you ain't making nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
keep thinking, oh, this business is making a lot of money. This because he got 10 workers. That just means that, they're building.
Boy,
But
just
it's how
breaking
you look
even.
at it. Yeah, they could be just breaking even, and be happy they're breaking even because a lot of
I
businesses
feel like that's what it is though, because there's a difference between gross and net.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
You get the-
if you
Well, you're
really-
talking gross and net. You're just talking about, what the taxes
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
That's just,
know,
how much the government gets out of it.
Revenue,
Because the more you make, the
revenue.
more they take.
yeah.
Yeah.
The end is the revenue.
Yeah, it's
what
the
do
profits.
you take?
Yeah. It's how much you actually can
Take
get
in
money.
at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I break that shit down. All my businesses.
Yeah.
I know my cost of operations and the revenue, what comes in and what comes out. It's just data. You have to keep data of your business.
You got to be accountable.
Mm-hmm.
That way you
simple
can
as
change
that.
things. All right.
All right, boss. That's the end of the episode.